Hey guys, this is Vaughn and welcome back to another episode on the Pixel League server. Today is Pi Day. Actually, yesterday was Pi Day, but I'm recording this on Pi Day. I meant to record this the day before so that it would go up on Pi Day, and I got my dates a little bit mixed up and wrong, so I'm recording it on Pi Day instead of releasing it on Pi Day. Anyway, we're going to do the Q&A today. A bunch of you guys sent in a bunch of questions, and I've picked out about 10 or 12 of them to get through, and I wanted to show you the floor that I did up here real quick before we started that. I kind of wanted to do, make it look like different colored tiles, kind of like a, I don't know, tile looking thing where like they're like clay tiles, and I kind of like how it looks and I kind of don't. The kind of light pink clay I feel like might be a little too bright, so I may play with it, but I finished it off just now and I thought it looked good. And the funny thing, I just started recording, right? I was standing here, I did my audio sync, I went into F5 mode like this, and then I turned the camera like this so that you wouldn't immediately see the floor, and right behind me there, right there I saw a falafel boss. And so I was like, oh my god! And I hadn't even done like my hey guys, so I didn't record it. I was like, I was recording it, but I turned it off because I was like, I'm just gonna kill that guy and that'll be cool. And then as soon as I finished killing him, I turned around to start recording again, and there was a Mareep boss right there, like right here. It was just, I wish I'd started recording about 30 seconds sooner because it would have been really cool to have like double bosses like that. There's all the stuff that I got from them. I'm gonna go drop it off. Oh, I also started laying down the rooms in here upstairs. Still obviously need to bring the walls all the way up. I've just been kind of like laying it out and seeing where I want them. I filled in some of the windows, and I'm gonna do all this off camera, but I just wanted to show you like the in progress of it's happening. It's happening. Things are happening. Walls are being put up and rooms are being made, and I think it's coming along all right. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. So anyway, what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put away these boss things. And you guys decided last episode what to pygmy Pokemon we should level up. And the general everybody, there's a lot of people who voted for different things. Oh no! Iron defense. The user hardens its body's surface like iron, sharply raising its defense stat. Now I'm gonna piss a lot of you guys off, I'm sure, by forgetting the wrong attacks and things. But a lot of people suggested a lot of different Pokemon. But the two that were suggested the most were Pikachu and Golett, which, as you can see, I have in my inventory right now. So I'm going to start leveling them up, and they both actually already leveled up quite a bit from those two boss fights, because I put XP shares on them. But anyway, I don't want to waste too much time blabbing about life. Let's get straight to these questions. I'm going to head over to Boss Island. I think that's where we're going to level up. That's the Silphco Extreme Hills biome. So I'm going to head over there, and I will bring you guys back once we are there and ready to start answering some questions. Here we are at Silphco, and they've still got my giant poop sign in the front of their building, which, go figure. I don't know why they haven't cleaned it up. I guess Team Rocket just sucks compared to good old Team River Rattatas. Anyway, we are... Ooh, this guy looks cool. Is he just in shadows, or is that... Yeah, I guess he's just in shadows. I always want to make sure that I'm not passing up a shiny, because I'm sure someday it's going to happen. I'm going to be very sad about it. A lot of times you guys say you see shinies in the distance, but you don't actually see shinies. You're just seeing Pixelmon guys that look different than what you expected or something. Anyway, we are going to get started. We're also going to be looking for bosses, because this is a good place to get bosses. We're also going to be looking for pygmies to pick up. We still want to get a pygmy Larvesta, and I think we got the Aeron and stuff. But mostly we're just going to be leveling and looking for dudes. And we're going to get started with the questions. So the first one... By the way, you guys kind of voted that I should do a Q&A session every month. Some of you want one every freaking week, and I could do that, but I don't think that most people want that. So we're going to stick to maybe once a month if I have time, and if I remember to ask the questions, or ask for you guys to submit questions first too. So anyway, the first question is from Clover Pika, and I'm assuming that's a girl, but it could be a boy. He/she says, how did you start YouTube? And also, what would be your favorite Pokemon? I think my favorite Pokemon at present is probably the Glaceon. I really like like the rapid dash because it's cute, and I like unicorn typey looking things. I don't know why I'm torching all of this stuff, but I think the Glaceon I've warmed up to the Glaceon, which is ironic because he's made of ice, but I think he's my favorite. Ooh, there's a Snorlax. Those are usually a couple points. So we're gonna go with that. And how did I start YouTube? Oh, Boldor. I started YouTube about 2 years ago. I started watching Farlands or Bust by Kurt J. Mack, and I thought I could do that. I could play a game and be entertaining enough to make people to talk and play while people watch. And so I looked up the information that you need in order to basically do it, you know, like what programs should I record with and stuff, and I got them, and I started doing it, and I sucked really, really bad in the beginning, and I suck slightly less now. Look at my head was sticking out of that was awesome. Ooh, I was level 60. Sweet, that's... Uh-oh. I just saw my secret base hiding up in the tree there. Hopefully, nobody notices that and goes investigates it. It was like the item frames you could see. Okay. Since Io just hit level 60, let's swap him out because I want all my EVs to be level 60, but I don't want them to get too much higher than that because we want to take on Dire Dwarf's Frost Gym soon, and his level cap is 60. So, oh, dang, Anvil. That's so annoying. So let's swap Io out. Wait, let's take his XP share off first. Let's put him here with all of the other Eevee, and let's grab... Oh, this was the next one that people... I know I already have a Salamence, but I think a Pygmy Salamence would be great, so we'll add him to the group, and don't let me forget to put the XP share on him. Okay, so that's how I started doing YouTube, and it was a while ago, and I've been having a lot of fun since. Good questions. Next question is from Colin Tainan. How old are you, and will you ever show your face? Both of these questions I've answered many times before, but I know I've got a lot of new guys, so I will say... Ooh, that looks like a boss Sableye. It is. It's a boss Sableye. Sweet. So, I am in my 30s. I'm kind of old compared to a lot of you and a lot of other YouTubers. I'm basically the same age as Good and Vintage Beef and a couple of those other kind of older guys. I'm not ancient, but I'm in my 30s, so that's a little older than average. This is not my maybe we should shadow ball this guy. Yeah, there we go. And my face I've shown many times before. I've gone to a lot of conventions. Cell battery, power bracer, frustration, flamethrower. I've gone to a lot of conventions, and I've been in a lot of convention footage, and I've done some vlogs. If you want to see them, I have playlists both for my vlogs and for all of my convention footage. I don't have any problems with hiding my face, so if you haven't seen it, you're just not looking hard enough. I'm fine with that. Oh! Electro Ball. The user hurls an electric orb at the target. The faster the user is than the target, the greater the damage. That sounds like it's got to be better than Tail Whip, right? A move that lowers the target's defense. Yes, let's switch that out. I don't ever use any of those like defense lowering things. So let's put this boss stuff back here. Let's run back here real quick and heal up, and let's move to the next question. Good question though. Good question. Sir Sephi asks, as a writer, what advice would you give someone who can't stay inspired enough to finish their own work? For those of you who don't know, I do a lot of writing. I've got a lot of novels that I've written. I haven't actually published any of them, and I answered a bunch of questions about writing in the last Q&A I did, so if you're curious about more information on that, check out the last Q&A I did. As for keeping yourself inspired as a writer, all I can say is just force yourself to write. Just force yourself to write, even if it's terrible stuff, even if you hate it, even if you immediately delete it. Just making yourself to actually write is a huge step in the right direction. Look at this level 2 Roggenrola. Wow, what a tiny little guy. Also, one thing, at least, I don't know if it would work for you, but for me, what inspires me is to read. If I read other authors, either I will get inspired in a way because they're such a good writer and it makes me feel inspired to do what they're doing, or because they're such a terribly bad writer, I think, well, I could do better than that. I'm I'm a better writer than that. If this got published, surely I can get published. So I definitely think that the best writers are the ones who read a lot of in the genre that they're trying to write in. So if you like to write fantasy novels or something, read a lot of fantasy novels. Even if they're bad, even if you don't like them, it'll tell you what's good, what's bad, what's been done 100 times, and you'll find yourself thinking, I wonder what'll happen next. Oh, that what I thought would happen next didn't happen next, but what I thought would have happened next was so much cooler. Oh, that's a boss lampent. This is seriously Boss Island. So, yeah, that's my suggestions. Read, and write. Practice makes perfect. It's really true. But good questions, very good questions. Thank you. Wow, Lampent. I'm going to shadow ball you, Lampent. Suck it. Oh, no. Wow. They took our gerbs. They took out... That doesn't happen very often, taking out Callisto. Hopefully we can use our Dark Lilith here to take the lamp out the rest of the way. Suck it. There we go. Pikachu grew to level 19. 20, 21. Double team. The user creates illusory copies of itself to raise its evasiveness. Meh. You guys are probably all raging. Mega Punch. The target is slugged by a punch thrown with muscle-packed power. I don't even know what any of these are. That sounds like it's got to be better than Pound, right? Mega Punch. Shadow Punch. Mud Slap. Rollout. Let's replace Mud Slap. I'm fully expecting you guys to rage at me in the comments. It's fine. Are you at me too? There's a healer over here that was left by, I believe, D-Max. So we're going to go over here and heal up. And so I finished that question. That was a good question. Thank you for asking. It was a good question. Next one is from Preston Lowry. And he asks, what is your favorite genre of music? Ooh, hello, Beef. And what has been your favorite thing to cosplay as? We will say hi to Beef as soon as I can type. You can't type while you're healing. Hey, dude. So, I do cosplay. People who follow me on Twitter for long enough, I usually tweet out if I'm in a costume or something. I'll take a picture of myself or whatever. Sup JV. Wow, he's never called me JV before. Okay, whatever, dude. VB. Start calling him VB. Vib. So, favorite thing I've ever cosplayed. That's hard to say. I've been cosplaying for a very long time. I really like cosplaying a character named Jamie McCrimmon from Doctor Who. He's from the second Doctor series from back in the 1960s. I like cosplaying him because I look like the guy, and a lot of people appreciate that fact, I guess. So it just, I don't know, it works. It's like, I don't think you have to look like the character in order to cosplay the character, but your confidence makes you feel better about it, and the more confident you feel, like, the happier you are. So I really like cosplaying him. So we'll go with that. I'm sure that if I thought about this a little bit longer, I could come up with something better, but we'll go with that. And my favorite genre of music is classic rock, so like the Beatles and stuff. I also like folk rock. If you're familiar with that, it's like classic rock, but kind of more lyrical. So like instead of saying, baby, I want to hold your hand, it's more like talking about politics, or, you know, like Bob Dylan sort of style of stuff, you know. I'm not that old. I was not alive in the 60s, but I just like that kind of music. I like music where you can hear the lyrics, where you can hear the musicians, and often where the musicians wrote the songs themselves. I like some music where, you know, they get a group of executive producers or whatever to write the songs and give them to their chosen singers. But I just really admire it when a band writes their own songs and plays their own music and sings their own stuff, and they don't auto-tune it, and it's just natural talent showing through. Ooh, Magnitude, that sounds like a good one. A ground-shaking attack of random intensity. Interesting. It doesn't have any power, but I have a feeling that that is a good one. Rollout. The user continually rolls into the target over 5 turns. It becomes stronger each time. Sounds like Pound is probably the one that we need to get rid of. hopefully you guys are not raging too harsh. So yeah, that would definitely be my favorite. I mean, I like other music, of course, but if I have to pick just one, we're gonna go with classic rock. Good question. Next one is from Mansour Alobra. I'm sure I probably said your name wrong. I really apologize if that is true. How did you join Pixel League? I joined Pixel League because I am friends with Beef, mostly. I'm also friends with MC. I mean, I'm friends with a lot of the people on the server. I'm friends with Dyer. I would consider someone like Pyro somebody that I'm acquaintances with, at least, if not friends. But mostly Beef. He was on the server, and I asked him if he could ask Teras if I could join, and he did, and Teras had no problem with it, and that's how I got on. So it's a private whitelisted server. Everybody knows somebody from the core group of people, and it's kind of like who you know and what, I guess, condition your channel is in. You know, they don't necessarily want non-LPers on here either. Here's a Charmander. Charmander! If I find a pygmy Charmander, we might catch him. But yeah, that's how I got on here, and yeah, that's pretty much your entire question. So that's the answer. Thank you for asking. I answered that one because a lot of people ask me how I got on here, and that is how, because I asked Beef and he got me on. Next one is from Castle Holland Holm. Castleholm. What personalities do you like in a woman that you are attracted to, and what is your idea of a perfect woman? I think I've answered this one before too, actually, but we'll go over it a little bit. Now, I'm mostly attracted to personality and like compatibility. So like, if you believe in things completely opposite to what I believe in, I don't care how quote-unquote hot you are, like, I'm not going to be interested in you, because I'm not the kind of person that just dates or sleeps around. I don't do one-night stands. Being attractive, like, there's a certain level of attractiveness that I, of course, am attracted to, but if you're not super hot to me, but you have like a really compatible personality, then like I will find you hotter than I would otherwise. Whereas if you were like super hot, but we don't have compatibilities, then even though you're quote unquote hot, I won't find you attractive. So that would definitely be like the first and foremost thing. But if we're going to be completely shallow on terms of like what I am attracted to, first of all, generally, oh, there's Jason. Hey, Jason. First of all, there's Jason. Yes, Jason is my type. No, first of all, I'm to an age where I pretty much will not date anybody under the age of 23, just because it's a little creepy. Like, maybe for like the absolutely perfect person, 21, but 23 is like my lower end limit, and that's pushing it. That's pretty shallow. I won't date anybody who smokes or does drugs. I'm not really into tattoos, like small ones maybe, but I'm just generally, it's a turn off to me. And I don't have any problem with people who have tattoos. I'm totally fine with people getting tattoos. It's just something I'm not personally attracted to. I don't think that you're bad people or immoral or anything. It's totally cool that you have tattoos. It's just, and I mean, for all I know, I'll end up dating someone who's covered in tattoos, because like I said, if the personality is better than the looks, then it doesn't matter to me. But on average, I am not attracted. Like, if you just lined up 100 people in a row and said who is hot and who is not, like, I would probably not pick someone with tattoos. I like women with long hair. Doesn't mean that I wouldn't be attracted to someone with short hair, but if we're being completely shallow, I'm making all of these, like, like caveats of, like, I'm not a jerk, I swear. I really like ginger hair, like redheads, like natural redheads, not like the crayon dye box red. I'm really not attracted. I'm like extra not attracted to like fake red hair, but like natural red hair or natural looking red hair, especially like ginger. I love it. Beautiful. I don't know why so many people make fun of gingers, because I think that they are the hottest of them all. But I've actually, well, I did date a ginger woman once, but I've never had a serious relationship with like someone who was ginger before. So I mean, that just goes to show that even though I may be more attracted to that type, there's just no bosses. I guess we just need to start fighting like higher level non-bosses. Here's a level 45 Rhydon. We'll go with him. I'm kind of short. I'm 5'7". I think that's like 170 centimeters. I don't really have any clue. I'm American. I don't know those numbers. But I'm not very tall. I'm not like super short, but I'm shorter than some women prefer. I don't have any problem with dating women who are taller than me, but a lot of women who are taller than me have problems dating men who are shorter than them. Ah, society and your strange decisions to I don't know, social norms or whatever. So to that end, I tend to only pursue women who are shorter than I am, and often like 5'4" or shorter. My last serious relationship was with someone who was 5 foot. Made me feel very tall, and she thought I was very tall. You know, I could reach the cabinets that she couldn't reach and stuff. So I've dated people who are taller than me too, but on average, you know, if we're being totally shallow, I will pick someone who is shorter, long hair. I like feminine women, dresses, and not like Hollywood Victoria's Secret model, more like Girl Next Door, like the sundresses versus like sexy skin tight fitting dresses. Like that actually is more of a turn off to me. I'm not into like heavy makeup or like super sexy outfits. I mean, sometimes, but on average, I will pick like the Girl Next Door in her sundress with her floppy sun hat and long hair and cute stuff. Yeah. Anyway, I've just gone on way too long about the women that I am attracted to. So let's move on to the next question. Cole Pravda asks, where have you traveled? I've probably talked about this before, but we will talk about it again. I'm American, so I've traveled all over the U.S. I would like to find another boss. This is Boss Island. Let's head over to the other side of the island, in fact. So I've traveled, I live in California, but I've lived in Ohio, Texas, North Dakota, Las Vegas, well, Nevada, and I've traveled pretty much to almost all of the states, except for like Alaska and like various other ones. So like I've been to Seattle, I've been to Washington, I've been to New York, I've been to Boston, Florida, pretty much all of like the cool places in the US, at least at one point I have been to them. I've also, in Hawaii, I've been to Hawaii. I've also been to Japan. I spent a summer in Japan in 2001. I lived in Aichi, which is about 2 hours south of Tokyo and about an hour north of Kyoto. I spent 7 weeks there, and I visited Nagoya, Tokyo, Kyoto, all of those places. I've been to England. Is that a... really? We've got a... There's no planes biome all the way around out here, but I just saw a Rayquaza. That was crazy. I've been to Paris, London. I would like to do more of Europe and stuff. Like I've been to various places like Bath in the UK. I don't know if that really counts. I guess it kind of counts. I would like to definitely visit more European places. I've been to Mexico. I've been to Canada. Not for a long time, though. When I lived in North Dakota, I lived about 20 minutes from the Canadian border. So I went to a city in Canada called Regina, which is... it borders obviously, it borders Minot, which is where I lived, North Dakota, Minot. And it borders this garden. It's called the International Peace Garden. And so it's like all these flowers and stuff. And it's really pretty. I was like 10 when I went, so I barely remember it. But I would like to go back. I would definitely like to visit Vancouver. So that's West Coast, and my friend Paz lives there, so I'm sure that at some point I will go and visit him in Vancouver and see the sights. Probably forgetting some other places, but yeah, I'm well-traveled, but not like super well-traveled. I would love to do New Zealand. I would love to go like back to Japan, South Korea, pretty much anywhere in Europe, Switzerland, Iceland. Is Iceland considered European? I'm honestly not sure. Anyway, that's a good question, and I hope that I answered it. Let's see. Are any of these Goropies like level 40 or so? Let's see. Next question is from B. Johnson, and B. Johnson asks, what would be your advice for... level 50. We'll take that. Level 50. What would be your advice to someone who would like to start up a YouTube channel like yours? I get this question a lot, and I think a lot of us do, and we answer it a lot over and over. Basically, what I want to tell you is it's hard work. Don't get into it because you want to make money, because it's very unlikely that you will make money or make much money, but it's a lot of fun. It can be very rewarding. Try to be consistent. Make a schedule. Say I'm going to upload, if you're busy with school or something, say I'm going to upload every Wednesday or every other Wednesday or something, but make a schedule, stick to it, have good content. That is a dungeon. Have good content. It doesn't necessarily have to be totally unique, but have fun. Be prepared to invest some money. Like if you're serious about it, then buy fraps. You know, spend the $30 to buy fraps. Buy a $30 headset so that you're not using like a microphone for your laptop. You know, invest some money, because if you don't invest a little bit of time and money into making a quality product, then why do you think anybody would watch it? You know? Because there's so many... Think about how many people you watch, and how many people you watch, but you don't watch all of their videos because you don't have enough time. Well then, why would anybody watch you when they could be watching somebody else who has this higher quality of stuff? And I get that not everybody has the money to invest in it, but if you can't invest the time and the money into it, then don't be upset if you can't get a lot of viewers, you know? And if you think about it, if you have 500 viewers, that's huge. I mean, sure, somebody like, you know, Etho has 1.5 million subscribers, but that's just so... my squeaky chair is squeaky, I'm sorry. That's so many people. Whereas, think about how many people are like in your classroom, right? Maybe 30 people. Now think of how many people are in your grade, okay? So say you're a 10th grader, or, you know, whatever grade you are. Maybe there's 500 people in your entire sophomore class, right? That's a huge number of people. Like, visualize all those people when you're in an auditorium, right? When you're at an assembly or something. Imagine all of those people are the ones that are subscribing to you and watching you. It's only 500 people, but that's a lot of people. So don't ever be upset that you only have 500 viewers. You know, like, that's actually quite a large number of people that say, I like you enough that I'm going to click the subscribe button on your channel. I mean, that's pretty huge. So, yeah, I mean, just stick with it. I've been doing it for about 2 years now, and I've only just recently started to really pick up steam, you know, and a lot of it is networking, but don't go... If you have 27 subscribers, you should network, but you should be networking with people who have 100 subscribers. Don't go ask Etho to do a co-op with you, because you're not going to give him anything in return. You know, it's a business model, and so they want to help you out, but they want to get something in return. You know, they want to cross-pollinate their subs, or they want, you know, some return. So don't be greedy, basically. Like, do co-ops, definitely, but don't be crazy with it, you know, be realistic. And don't be upset if people say no. It doesn't mean that they dislike you, it just means that they might be too busy. I mean, I have to turn down so many people because there's just no way that I can collab with everyone that I want to. I can't even collab with the people I like and know really well and who have stuck with me for years, you know? I just, it's fun, but it's difficult, it's stressful, and it's not for everyone, you know? Do it for fun and see where it goes, and then if you continue to enjoy it, or you feel like you're doing well... Oh, there's a boss. Finally. Then you can, you know, continue to improve your channel and stuff, but don't freak out if you don't succeed. You know, it's not for everyone. And I've rambled on about that for way too long. We need to move along. Next question is from 19 San Jose Sharks. How has YouTube changed your life? Definitely has. I love doing YouTube. Dubious Disc, we just got both of those, didn't we? Do we have... Oh, no, we have Wild Charge and a Dubious Disc. Oh, I think that I got those both from the bosses that I fought at the beginning of the day. So, YouTube, before I even started doing YouTube, I was into, Minecraft stuff. And so I went to Paris to go to Minecon in 2012. I went to Paris. That might not be anything for you if you're like in Germany or something, but for me, I live in America. That's a really, really long way away, and that was a lot of money and a lot of time. I had a great time. I mean, it was one of the best times of my life, I would say, going to Paris and London and hanging out with Minecrackers and becoming friends with them and everything. Totally worth it, but totally crazy. But by going there, I made friends with a lot of these Minecrackers, especially Good, and through that, it gave me a boost on my channel, and I continued to become friends with them. And I knew Beef before I went to Paris, but that just helped grow my friendship with them and networking and so on and so forth. So that planted the seed that led toward me, one day being able to join this server. And joining this server is what introduced me to probably 90% of the people who are watching this video, because my channel grew so much by joining the Pixelmon server, and that was thanks to Beef, and thanks to, it all goes back to networking. So, yes, it's been a huge change, and I still, I don't make enough money through YouTube to quit my day job and do it full time, but maybe someday I will be able to, and if that happens, that would be really changing my life, and I will continue to go on. I went to Florida to Minecon this year, and I will go wherever Minecon is next year, and I will, well, this year technically, and I will go to Alabama this year for a convention. I will go to probably Seattle again for PAX Prime, and so on and so forth, so just all sorts of crazy things that I have done, and I've met so many awesome people, not even at conventions, but just online and stuff. It's definitely changed my life, and it's been amazing. I've loved all of it, and I hope that it lasts and that it continues to change my life, because I'm happier now than I have been in a very level 2, this poor guy, for a very long time, doing something that I love. And if I could turn it into a full-time career, making you guys happy and making myself happy in the same time, that would be awesome. Oh, I thought this was a boss, but it's just a Charmander. That would be awesome. So yeah, definitely has changed my life and has been awesome. And I'm going to take a drink of water real quick, because I've been talking for a long time. Water. Next question is from Mr. Ryan Justin. That's an interesting name. Where are you from? Also, how old are you? And how did you get your name, Just Vaughn? I answered some of that. So I'm in my 30s. I am from California. I was born in Texas. My dad was military. He was in the Air Force when I was growing up. So I was born in Texas, but I consider myself a Californian because I've spent most of my life in California. It's where I went to high school and where I spent most of my adolescence. So where is everybody? There's no mobs over here now. And how did I get the name Just Vaughn? Well, for those of you who don't know, Vaughn is my real name. I am not a clever man. I didn't want to be called Beef. What? It sounds normal now because that's just how I know him, but really his name is Vintage Beef. That is not a name, that is a noun. That is a thing. Vintage Beef is some sort of slab of meat that is old, I didn't want to be called, Tree Herder or Grass Blade or something. I wanted my name. I was I can't imagine anybody calling me anything other than Vaughn. So I picked Vaughn, and unfortunately Vaughn, spelt V-A-N, which is how my name is spelt, but it said Vaughn, is always taken everywhere. So I can't get just V-A-N. It's always taken. So if I put something else like Vaughn the Magnificent or Von Ryder, which is a fake last name that I picked, people will call me Von Ryder. And if it's lowercase, then they'll call me Von Ryder, one word, it's Von Ryder. Or if it's got the LP, they'll call me Von Ryderbull. Or so, they just come up with weird things. So I was just call me Vaughn. Don't call me Von Ryderbull. Call me just Vaughn. And so that's where Just Vaughn came from. Just call me Vaughn. Just Vaughn. Of course, now people call me Just, or apparently Beef just called me JV. So you just can't win, you know. You just can't win. But that was where it came from. I think these guys are so cool. I already have a Matang and a Metagross, but they still look cool. So that's where Just Vaughn came from, and it's based on my real name and the fact that I just want people to call me Vaughn. Just call me Vaughn. All right, it's a good question though, and worth answering because people don't know. Next question is from Graham Daly. Dally? Do you have any advice for me because I am soon going into 9th grade? For those of you who are not American, 9th grade is about age 13, 14 school year. It's the start of high school for most Americans. Some Americans start in 8th grade, but for the most part, 9th grade, grade 9, freshman, start high school. Find friends. Join a club that you enjoy. If you are into chess, join the chess club. If you're into anime, join the anime club. Or if there isn't one, see if you can start one. Stick around people who consider you worthy as a person. And if they don't consider you worthy as a person, if they make fun of you, if they tease you, bully you, whatever, they are not worth your time. Leave them. Don't worry about it. Like, just walk away and go find some other people that are worth hanging out with. When I was in high school, I spent a lot of time hanging out with like other outcast nerds because we could even if we didn't necessarily have things in common, we were still decent civil human beings to each other. And if you see someone else by themselves, be the one that reaches out to them, you know, because they're probably lonely as well. I'm trying to think of other, I graduated high school a long time ago. It gets better, you know, as they say. If you do get bullied or people give you problems, just know that in the future it gets a lot better. Slam. The target is slammed with a long tail, vines, etc. to inflict damage. Long tail. I guess that's his tail. Do we want to use that instead of quick attack? 40. But the accuracy is only 75. Thunder shock. A jolt of electricity is hurled at the target to inflict damage. It may also leave the target with paralysis. That sounds like a good one. The user hurls an electric orb at the target. The faster the user is than the target, the greater the damage. A weak electric charge is launched at the target. It always causes paralysis if it hits. So both of these cause paralysis. Quick attack. Slam. These are both normal attacks. There's 30 of these and 20 of these. I'm gonna get rid of it. Don't hate me. Level 56 for Lilith. Good. We're getting some levels, even though it's kind of slow going. But yeah, surviving high school. Yeah, I really think joining a club, joining multiple clubs, join the band, join a sports team, whatever you're passionate about, try to join it and try to make friends within that group. And you know what? Remember that one good friend is better than a bunch of acquaintances. You know, you just want that one good friend. I would rather have one person I really like than 20 that I kind of know. And you know, if you have problems, talk to a teacher or a counselor or a trusted adult. I don't know. I mean, I had a relatively pain-free high school. Junior high was much worse for me. In high school, I found that people would separate well enough, and you could distance yourself from the kids that you didn't get along with. So just remember, you can always walk away, turn a blind eye, don't get into fights, just ignore people. You know, just be nice if you can. And, you know, don't worry about what they say to you, because whatever crap they tell you is not going to matter in the long run. Like, I guarantee that some jocks making fun of you when you're 14, whatever they're talking about is stupid. When you're an adult, like, it's just not important, you know? If they make fun of you for having glasses or something, like, it's just like, so what? Like, I have to see, like, screw you. Like, I just don't worry about it. I know it's hard to say that, but I promise you that in the end, It's not worth worrying about. Good job, Beef! But yeah, good luck, man. I had a lot of fun in high school. If you find the right people and you join the right clubs and have a good time, you'll have a good time. It's not so bad. Last question. We're on the last question, and I saved this one for last because it's possibly going to be kind of boring to some of you. Maybe not. I don't know. I love this sort of stuff. It's a science question. It's from Nick Utzig, and he says, since you are a science whiz, I don't know if I'm a science whiz, but okay. Since you are a science whiz, as you said last episode, in the 1960s, how come the scientists didn't respond to the WOW signal? First of all, the WOW signal was not in the 1960s. It was in 1977, so that's quite a bit off. And for those of you who are not familiar, the WOW signal was discovered by SETI, S-E-T-I, which is the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. It's a giant radio telescope that they point into the sky and they listen for radio waves. And they have certain things that can determine if a radio wave, because all things make radio waves. Humans even make radio waves. The sun sends out radio waves. The entire universe sends out radio waves. And all of it is just kind of like, you know, when you're, well, I don't know if you guys even listen to radios, but if you turn a radio station between channels, you get static. It's like a shh sort of sound. That's radio waves. Those are random radio waves, and you're just picking up the sound of the universe when you do that. But there are ways to determine sound or radio waves that sound like they come from extraterrestrial life, you know, intelligent something. So back in 1977, there's a Rayquaza just randomly flying around. I wonder if we can get him. There was a sound wave that came through that sounded, it lasted for 70 seconds or 72 seconds, which was the entire length of the time that the radio thing was pointed in that direction, because the Earth rotated eventually away from it. All 72, oh, we got him. All 72 seconds, this sound, they didn't hear necessarily what it was, because it was, nobody was manning the station at the time, but it printed out this thing saying this amazing, sound, this amazing sound was picked up. And it was really exciting, and you can Google it. It's called literally the WOW signal, just like that. It's got a Wikipedia article, I'm sure. You can check it out, but I haven't seen any Larvistas. The reason why they didn't answer it is because when they checked it again, they didn't hear it again. And they checked it again, and they didn't hear it again. And so there was a lot of speculation that at the time, we didn't have very sophisticated information. I mean, in modern day times, we have so much better quality electronics and stuff. This was the very earliest of SETI, and they didn't even, the program that they used to record that sound actually monitored an area where they weren't, why am I not taking Sky out? It's hard to explain without I'm doing all these moves with my hands. Basically, let me, oh gosh, dynamic punch. The user punches the target with full concentrated power. It confuses the target if hit. We want to keep magnitude. Shadow punch. The user throws a punch from the shadows. The punch lands without fail. Mega punch. The target is slugged by a punch thrown with muscle-packed power. The user continually rolls onto the target over 5 times. It becomes stronger each time. Those all sound better than this. But as power 100, the user punches the target with full concentrated power. It confuses the target if it hits. But 5 out of 5, that means that it's a good punch. What do we want to replace it then? Target is slugged with a punch. Accuracy 50. Okay, we're gonna go with this. Don't hate me. Please don't hate me. Okay, so here we're monitoring this section of the sky, right? And there's a negative side of it and a positive side of it. And this is actually a really, really, really big amount of area. It's so massive. It's hard to explain that area is so massive. But when they recorded it, they didn't record whether the signal originated from the negative side or the positive side of that area. So even if they had sent a message back, they didn't know where to send it to. Now, back in 2002, I think, 2012 maybe. It was like for the 30th anniversary or something. They did send a message back, and it was kind of a joke. Like, they sent Twitter messages and stuff. I don't know why this sand is here. I'm going to take it down. It's been here for a while, and it's time to go. It was from... It was basically like promoting a television show, so it was kind of a joke. I don't know why they didn't really reply back in the day. I think it was because they didn't know where to send, they didn't really have the technology to do it, and I don't know. Hey, dude. I think that's why. But I find it very fascinating. It's really the only signal that we've heard like that. There have been some other kind of disputed signals like that. We don't know if that was actually something extraterrestrially intelligent sent to us, something, you know, from an intelligent other alien race, but it could have been. It could have been. It originated from the constellation of Sagittarius, so I know a lot of people have kind of concentrated other additional research on that. It might have just been random. It might have been a fluke. It could have been a quasar or something. They don't know. I mean, who knows? But it's very fascinating. I'm really not a science whiz. I love science. I like studying science. I find all of that very fascinating, but I don't claim at all to speak with any level of authority. It's just my own speculation, my own beliefs, my own hopes and dreams, and educated guesses, but I'm not a scientist. I don't have any authority whatsoever to really speak on it. So come to your own conclusions, look it up, do it yourself. Sharpedo, wow, that thing looks awesome. Yeah, it does look really cool. Yeah, we've done some pretty good leveling. I've still got a long way to go, but that's going to be the last question for this episode. Thank you guys, as always, for asking them. If you like them, let me know. Wait, let's take this guy out, though. I always want to do things that you guys like. Sometimes I have to, obviously, do things for me, but I like to do stuff that kind of works for both of us. So if you like it, let me know. I will do another Q&A at some point, I am sure. And maybe once a month if you guys are into it. I don't really need that apple that dropped, so we're going to not pick it up. Didn't get as many bosses this episode, but that's okay. So, thank you guys, as always. That is not how you do this. Thank you guys, as always, for watching. My name is Vaughn. If you like this, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already. That really helps me out, and leave a comment. I'll see you in the next one.